There is a great disturbance in the Force. I have felt it.
Star Wars Epic Yarns is a board book series offering a light-speed take on each of the 3 original Star Wars movies. Each Star Wars episode is told in just 12 words and 12 felt scenes. I'm Holman Wang, and I'm one of the co-creators of Star Wars Epic Yarns. In this video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes to show you how the series was made. The primary technique for making the figures which appear in Star Wars Epic Yarns is needle felting. This is a sculptural process where you take loose wool roving and stab it over and over with a barbed needle. As the wool fibers become entangled, the wool gets firmer and takes on shape. It takes anywhere from 20 to 60 hours to complete each figure. The end results are felt figures which are plush yet lifelike and ready for action. The complexities of doing Star Wars required us to come up with some new techniques, such as removable heads. This allowed us to maintain character continuity while still being able to pull off elaborate costume changes. Creating droids like R2-D2 required other new techniques like foam and felt appliques to create R2-D2's markings, as well as cutting and gluing layers of craft felt in order to create the hard edges of R2-D2's legs. For larger figures like the Tauntaun and Jabba the Hutt, a styrofoam core is first shaped with a hot cutting tool. Then loose felt is needled right onto the surface of the styrofoam to create the final effect. And of course, Star Wars wouldn't be complete without a few spaceships. While I made the X-Wing fighter, my brother Jack handled the Millennium Falcon. For both, felt was applied over top of a cardboard core. Then the ships were ready for the photo shoots which would bring them to life. There are only 2 bits of digital illustration in Star Wars Epic Yarns: lightsabers and Force lightning. Everything else was done in camera, which means that the set making was elaborate. See those stars behind the Emperor? Even those were done in camera with a simple piece of cardstock with holes punched in it and backlighting. A number of sets, including Ben Kenobi's hut and the Mos Eisley Cantina, started with styrofoam. A layer of quick-set concrete was added, then texturized and painted. For the cantina, some simple electronics were also needed for the table lamp. Then the felt figures were placed in the set, photographed, and voila! For the Dagobah scenes, the misty swamps were recreated with dry ice. As dry ice was placed into dishes containing warm water, it would immediately begin to vaporize. Carbon dioxide vapors are heavier than air, so as they bubbled out of the dishes, they ran across the surface of the set, perfectly recreating the misty atmospherics of Dagobah. Every set seemed to have its own unique challenges which demanded unique solutions. In order to recreate the rusted walls of the trash compactor, I needed to source an iron-based paint which would rust when an oxidizing solution was applied. For the X-Wing fighter scene, I built a movable Death Star wall out of styrofoam and pulled the wall during a long exposure shot, creating the illusion of flight. For the Cloud City landing scene, I built an oversized model of part of the Millennium Falcon and had to actually suspend it from the ceiling of my studio in order to make the shot work. The trickiest set to build was probably the Blockade Runner, mostly because of all of the curved elements in the set, which were painstakingly made from cardboard and pliable foam sheets. The set also required visible ceiling lighting, which added to the challenge of the photo shoot. For the Ewok village scenes, I recreated a giant redwood by collecting cedar bark and gluing it onto a large styrofoam block. Recreating the Star Wars universe with the necessary reverence and respect for the original movies was always a daunting task, but also always a lot of fun. Most of the location shoots for Star Wars Epic Yarns were done in Vancouver, British Columbia. One of the local mountains, Mount Seymour, provided the perfect location for the Hoth scenes, and the forests around the Lynn Valley headwaters served as the backdrop for the outdoor scenes on Endor. For the cover of Return of the Jedi, we placed felt figures on perfectly scaled toy speeder bikes and shot the figures on location. Vancouver has a wide array of natural environments, but it doesn't have this, desert. We learned that George Lucas filmed part of Return of the Jedi at the Imperial Sand Dunes just outside of Yuma, Arizona, so we decided to go there too. We worked on location until the incredible desert winds literally blew our set away. Jack and I got 3 shots down in the desert, and we're proud to say that we spared no effort to do the original Star Wars movies justice. Our goal has always been to create word primers for anyone of any age to enjoy, and we hope that Star Wars Epic Yarns will help parents bond with their kids through the magic of books. So we hope you've enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the making of Star Wars Epic Yarns, and may the felt be with you.